Yo, shout out to my boy Nelson. Let's go. Turn it up. He doing it now.
Well, it's Wednesday night and you hear the jingle, so you already know what that means. It is the night where we get the #1 combat sport podcast in the world and one of the most influential members of the combat sport community. Hey, we all love him. Let's welcome him to his show, Nelson Lopez Jr. What's up, man?
What's up?
How you doing, boss, man? You good?
Hey, man, I'm good. You know what I mean? Just planning out the rest of the month, planning out the rest of the year, putting the schedules together. A lot of planning. A lot of
traveling, a lot of plotting and planning, and a lot going on in the fight world. You were saying earlier, there's so much going on. You could talk about everything, right?
Yeah, whatever. Like, there's a lot of things going on in the fight world. I mean, you have the Hollywood Casino. You got BKFC going to Hollywood Casino.
Of course,
all my boys there, the HDs, the Gallos, the Perdomos, the Chris Garcia, the Palominos, like everybody's in the house. They're going to Tampa, Clearwater. So busy month. Also, this weekend, Edgar Berlanga's fighting in the Caribe Royale in Orlando. That's my boy since day one. Been rocking with him since day one. So
I understand you'll be in the building for that one.
Yeah, I got to put that famous hand wrap on his.
Oh yes,
put that brick on him. So
we got to watch you.
So yeah, I'll be going up there and I'll be hanging out with him. Probably stay the weekend there with the family and spend some time with Berlanga and watch him get this little W so he go to the next thing.
Well, and I want to touch on all those subjects because when I get your time, I got to use it wisely, man. You're a very busy man. And while we're on it, let's talk about the event next week. The Dirty Boxing premiere with your boy Mike Platinum P, right there. Yeah. We know Yuli Diaz will be fighting Brian Maxwell. That's an exciting matchup there. Several matchups there. We know he had his private, a couple months ago. You knew about his private show he had. We had Yoel Romero out there. Everyone seems very excited. How do you feel about it? I'd love to hear your opinion on this.
Look, man, anyone that's taking the time out to put on an events, like, big ups to them. Number one, it's a very hard task. Number two, it's very difficult to facilitate that many people. You know what I mean? Keep everybody happy. The coordinating and the logistics. So anyone that's doing that, I don't know if anyone hasn't done it. They don't realize how strenuous and how hard it is to put on an event. So if Mike Perry has his team and they're running with Dirty Boxing, they got that look in the dungeon look, and the guys are fighting and they're making money and they're building rankings and they're keeping the fighters active. Big ups to them. Like,
absolutely. And how about this rule set? Let's talk about this rule set a little bit. The Dirty Boxing, you're wearing this. Are they 4 ounce? What are they wearing? What kind of?
I believe they're 4 ounce. Yeah, they're 4 ounce.
And you can elbow, right? You can throw elbows.
Yeah.
You can dirty box, of course, clinch and box, and then you can strike when opponent's down, correct?
Yeah.
And the downed opponent can attempt leg locks or whatever to get up, I think, right?
Listen,
like not submissions, no submissions, but try to get up.
Yeah, look, it's difficult. It's hard. Like, first of all,
it's MMA, very hard rule set.
MMA, it's hard off rip. It's a rule set that's going to be lean towards more the MMA fighter. You know what I mean? Yes, Yuli and Brian Maxwell, they're fighting, and yes, they did fight in a bare knuckle fight. But Yuli is predominantly
he's a boxer.
A boxer.
Yeah. Yes, boxer puncher.
Okay, and Brian Maxwell is an MMA guy. We don't know what could happen there. And I took Brian Maxwell to fight Chad Ochocinco on the undercard of Logan Paul and Mayweather.
That's right. That's right. I saw that.
I told Dave I got to fight for Brian Maxwell. He was like, "Who you fighting?" I said, "Ochocinco." He said, "Get out of here." You know what I mean? And we were there. And he showed
I remember
out.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was a great event. So he got a lot of pub there. It could be different. Yes. Yuli beat him in bare knuckle, but all these sports are different. All these disciplines, if you're dominant in one, you might not be as dominant in the other. So
shout out to both those fighters. It should be an exciting event, though, and it is intriguing, right? It's very intriguing, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, I want to pull up. I want to see what's going on. I want to check out the scene.
Somebody today, I was thinking about pulling up for that next weekend.
You can do it.
It'll be fun. I would love to just drop down there and see what's up because it's different. And like you said, it may be geared more toward MMA, but still a striker sport. Seems to be a striker sport right there. Yeah. Another striking, taking the forefront and taking the wind out of the MMA sails because you see more and more leagues popping up everywhere, striking dominant, whatever variation.
I think that's what makes it exciting. Like in boxing, when the hands are flying, the leather's flying, it's exciting. When you have a fighter that's, bouncing in and out like Manny Pacquiao and something's about to land, is exciting. When you see a Mike Tyson, slipping back and forth and something's coming, it makes it exciting. When it gets real technical and they're holding and you're trying to win, boxing is a longer game. That's why there's 10 rounds. There's strategic, like you got to be in shape. You got to be able to do those 10 rounds. So it weighs a lot. It's different. It's a different thing than a full blast, all you can go 5 rounds of bare knuckle. And dirty boxing is what, 3 rounds, 5 minutes?
Yep, 3 rounds. Yep, that's correct. And they're a little longer. You get gassed out.
The thing is, at 3 rounds, 5 minutes. I mean, at 3 minutes, you're like, oh, but I mean, because it's different.
Them last 2 minutes are hell.
Yeah, if you go to the ground on the 5 minutes, it's different, but you're not going to the ground. Like, you're back up. It's tough. It's tough. Like I said,
it lends itself for a lot of finishes, though, right, boss? Like finishes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's set up for that because that 4th and 5th minute, that's where the finishes happen because you're tired. Like one thing is having skills, but once you're tired, once your conditioning is gone, like all that goes out the window. So.
And as you said, a well-placed elbow is, man, oh my goodness. So, and you said Berlanga's fighting. Let's talk about that. So Berlanga's making a somewhat of a comeback. Losses last time out. How do you see this unfolding here? A tough fight? Or do you see him getting it over with?
Look, Berlanga's in a weight division, man, that any punch could hurt you. Like those guys are walking around at 200 and they're making 168 pounds. They're walking around at 190. Wow. They're making 175 pounds. Like you're talking about a 6'2", big, strong, fast, powerful young man. And both of them are young men fighting. He's fighting a Puerto Rican kid, Jonathan Gonzalez. Jonathan Gonzalez was an excellent fighter. He took a hiatus. Something happened. I don't know. Like he took a time off like 2016. And he didn't come back again until like 2020. And then he came back in 2023 and got 2 or 3 wins. And look, he's 20-0. You're not just 20-0.
Oh, wow.
He's beat some very credible guys. Very slick, anything can happen. So
Puerto Rican has a long lineage of Puerto Rico has fantastic, talented fighters too. So you never know. And life could have gotten in the way in those gaps, right?
Of course. That happens in all these sports, especially when, there's all these distractions and we're on our own training. We're on our own getting ready for these fights. So it's easy to get distracted or get pulled to the side. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see that. I'm gonna be up there. So I'm gonna be excited to see my boy throw hands again. And he fought Canelo after that. Before that, he took the L. But I really
but it's Canelo, right?
Yeah, but you know what? He probably fought Canelo just as good as anyone fought Canelo, right? And he brought him to the deep waters and he fought him to the end. To the last bell, they threw hands. And I was very proud to see him reach the final bell and throw hands with one of the greatest fighters of all time, honestly.
So it was one of those times where a loss is a win, maybe for him in the eyes of the
Absolutely.
boxing public, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, it didn't do anything but just solidify him as a very concrete force in that division. And he'll go on to meet other champions and fight other guys. And he's a ticket seller. You know, Orlando loves him. Orlando's like baby Puerto Rico, you know? Orlando's like little Havana for the Puerto Ricans. Like,
Yeah, man. Like, man.
there's that frontier flight for $49 that gets you to the island and back. You know what I mean? So,
well, I mean, and he ain't taking no slaps. Like you said, that's a sneaky 20-0 fighter he's fighting there. So that should be a great fight. That should actually should be a really fun fight.
Really fun fight. Not sure on the undercard, but I know there's a lot of good local talent in Orlando, man. A lot of local talent.
Florida, just in general, man.
In
great
general, man.
talent right now.
I say it all the time. I don't even need to leave Florida. I wish I didn't have to leave Florida.
There's so many fighters there. So many fighters.
So I mean, everywhere. Go to Fort Myers. Go to Naples. Go to Punta Gorda. Go to Jacksonville. Go to Gainesville. Go to Tampa. Like we just got a bunch of. We raise fighters. We raise fighters over here.
Speaking of that, this is a great segue into what I want to ask about next. Before we get our first guest, Nadia Miljancevic, who is efforting right now. She had a problem with her MacBook. Now she's getting on with her phone. She is in Belgrade, so it's late at night for her. But I want to ask you about Broward versus Dade County there at BKFC. Right there, Palomino versus HD. What a fight, right? You have a lot of inside information. I want to hear you talk.
That's amazing. Listen, that fight was bound to happen, right? That fight was bound to happen. It comes to that point where an OG like Palomino, an OG, you know what I mean? 10, 11 bare knuckle fight, 9 title defense. You know, the emperor, like the man, like what a great title that he has already accumulated, and not to take anything from him. Yeah, he lost to Austin Trout, but so did Canelo kind of lose Austin Trout. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, yeah, if I was a judge, he did.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like, we can't be mad at that, and he ain't scared to run it back.
Well, and Baboon just was boxing recently and handled himself very well. Got him a dub. Came out there and whipped ass.
Yeah, and he fought Gabriel Rosado. Listen, Gabriel Rosado is no joke.
I know.
Gabriel Rosado is no joke. They might put him on the B side, but Gabriel Rosado will spoil anybody's night. Anybody's night. We've seen him do it. HD, super proud of the man. He went all the way down to 145. He came up 55. Now he's looking strong. I think it's the perfect time. It's perfect timing for him to see if he can take the reins, king of the hill, see if he can take over the hill. You know what I mean? Dade versus Broward. Dade is a melting pot. So yes, Palomino is from Dade. He's from Peru, he's from Peru.
Yes. He has a Japanese wife, and he embraces the Eastern philosophy. So he's a very complex guy,
right. And then you got HD. He's from Jamaican descent. He's from the islands, and he's from Broward. I mean, it's like the perfect example of a Dade fighter and a Broward County fighter.
Right. It is.
All you need right now is the pit bull to walk out Palomino and Kodak Black to walk out, HD Davis. That's it. It's on. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, for sure.
And also for fans, from a fan's perspective, it's the perfect mix of royalty of the Baboon is, years of undefeated before he lost his title, all his accomplishments out in all the combat sports. And then you got the phenom, HD Davis, the young lion that everyone says has all the talent, as a slick boxer, really nice with his hands, has had some spits and starts in his career. It's perfect, right? It's like the perfect show.
Absolutely.
And on that card, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Well, and also on that card, you have other fighters that you are very well versed in. Tonight, we'll talk to one. Hopefully, he's efforting to get Chris Garcia. You're very close to him, and others I want you to speak on that card. There's others there that you're very familiar with.
Chris Garcia was in the gym. I was kind of telling him, look, boxing is very political. It's tough. If you're not part of the big boys, the top ranks, the golden boys in the match room, you're up against them. So consider yourself a B-side. He's like, what do you mean? I go, yeah, you can build yourself and be 10-0, but if you're not signed to them and to that network, like you're just a B-side. So, and he didn't understand it until, I took him to a couple of fights. I said, you see that guy there? He's undefeated, but he's gonna have to kill this guy to win. You know what I mean? Like,
Naja is messaging me. I want to. You're good on your point, but Naja's having some issues with this.
It's okay.
But it's okay. I told her just take your time. Take your time. Just trying to send her a message, try to give her some assistance there. But speaking of Chris, I've had the pleasure of interviewing him a few times. He's been on several cards, the Prospect Amateurs, and he's always super tough, looks the part. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a star in the making, man. And he get in there and put you to sleep, man.
Yeah.
He get in there and put you to sleep.
Chris, the crazy part is that Chris didn't want to do bare knuckle. He told me,
really?
I'll do it. I'll try it. And after he tried it once, he was like, I like it, man. I'm ready. Let's do another one. Let's do another. And now I just seen his confidence. I see him in the gym. I seen him where he's at, how he carries himself. His confidence level is just off the roof. So it's amazing. It's amazing what that's done for him. And he I know he wants to pursue the boxing career still. So I know he still wants to pursue that and go and be part of, finding maybe a title or something in the boxing. He wants to do that.
Yeah, but we both know that that's part of your philosophy. You are that multi-sport combat sport. You believe that. You believe going forward that fighters are going to be able to step in and out of these sports and have a successful career. And I think so too. I mean, that's what really I'd love to see. You want to do some MMA? You want to do some bare knuckle? You want to do some boxing?
That's why, I believe what Turkey, Al-Ashish, and Dana White are doing is it's going to be great, because if they're going to put everything under an umbrella of combat sports, which is what GCC was about, global combat, that was the idea. That was
absolutely.
That's what I said. We're all one big happy family. You know what I mean? Like, you want to fight on this or here or there. We have influencers too that actually can fight. You want to bring them down. As long as they're evenly matched,
I mean, I could see a show that had all those aspects. You had a Muay Thai fight, you had an MMA fight, you had a celebrity influence fight, you had a boxing fight. I would love to go something like that, a true combat. And there's a lot of these fans that because we've all grown up. Maybe we were boxing fans when we were kids because that's what we had, right? MMA came about, and then you became MMA. You started to see, and you and I've talked about even card jitsu. I mean, there's something for everybody right now. Yeah. If you like fighting, it's there for you, and it's it's exciting. It's a changing time in combat sports.
100%. And you know what? It's just changing for the better. I think as much as the boxer doesn't look at the MMA, as much as the MMA doesn't look at boxing, as much as the bare knuckle fighter doesn't even care about the box. It's so crazy because I came from the boxing world. I dove into the bare knuckle world, and I didn't know any of these famous MMA guys. And I'm like, who's that guy? And they would say, oh, that guy's 4 million followers. He was on the Ultimate Fighter, and I didn't know. And I was like, wow, that would be a great fight with Ryan Garcia. And they were like, what? Can you make that happen? I'm like, yeah, let's call Ryan.
Let's go.
I was matching stuff I didn't even know. It was awesome, and for us to be under one roof, like, then you get to learn about who they are, and then you're there to challenge you. If you're following it, it'll be awesome. That you can follow. You imagine you have football players and basketball players, and they can mix and play each other.
Well, it's a dream thing, right? That's always been the ultimate. That's why people love video games, right? You can make it happen, but here it is in real life. When you can make it happen in real life,
true,
and it's getting a little video gamey. Speaking of that, I saw a little something today. Uli, who I love to call Uli. Shout out to Uli, man. Shout out to you boys out there in Vegas. Shout out to Josh. Josh ran into y'all in Vegas last night. Well, I want to say this. That dude's a super monstrous to me. And the fact that he can go from there's some controversy. He's saying he's still the fastest knockout. And I went back and watched. And Legitti's got an argument that he may still have the fastest knockout.
Oh,
If
listen,
you kind of frame by frame it.
Frame by frame, I would say that yes, it's up there. Like
There you go.
Like he came out the gates. I mean, he threw one left hook. He just dove and hit him. And then next thing you know, I looked over and he was flying over the top rope. He almost killed himself. And I was like, "What are you like? What?" He was so excited. It was amazing. But I mean, him and Justin Watson, right? Was the other one Justin Watson?
Yes.
Georgia?
Yes.
And
yes.
they're both pretty fast.
Very quick, man. Very fast knockouts, and that's what we love. That's why you love the sport. Okay, that's me to do it. Okay, so she's trying. So just so you know, that Naja is definitely on board watching. She's like, I'm trying to download on my Mac.
Naja, we miss you. What happened?
Yes,
oh,
the Serbian prince. So just so you, the fans know, the first guest of the night we have planned, and if we can get her on, we will have her on, is Naja Miljancevic, who is scheduled to fight Nicole Schaefer in Italy in the BKFC. And we know that, Boss has a relationship with Nicole Schaefer, working with her in the past. And she's a dangerous fighter, too. Very attractive and dangerous fighters here.
Yeah.
What do you think of this fight? Italy's looking good.
Man. I understand. I mean, Naja has a little bit of an advantage. She's a little bigger. She's bigger. She's a little bit more. I know she has boxing matches, but she's a little bit more of an MMA, a little bit rougher.
That's true. Muay Thai and boxing and MMA. Yep.
Yeah, I think that depending on how rough she makes it, how dirty she makes it, or how hard she pushes it, that'll determine the fight. If she imposes her size on her, I think it'll give her an advantage.
So when Nicole's boxing, which we all know she's an undefeated boxer there in Germany, when Nicole's boxing, what weight is she boxing at? Nicole
can box at 118, 122.
Oh wow, really go low.
Yeah, she can make those weights. She was fighting.
So that'd be a great Britain Hart fight right there. It sounds like.
I don't know if she says she can make 115, but I don't think. I'm gonna tell you a good Britain Hart fight would be.
Oh, that's a good Ferreira fight then. 125, but that's a good 125. That's a good Ferreira fight for her.
That's a good Ferreira fight.
Yeah.
But I got another girl that Rosalinda Rodriguez like.
Oh, I know. Yes.
I love them both. Those girls.
That would be
I hate that they got to fight. I hate that they're in the 115 division. I hate it. But
that would be a great fight. That's the fight Britain needs. That's the fight Britain needs. She needs that fight. Yeah. She's putting her against lesser competition, and Britain's boxing's come so far. She really in there just piecing these girls up like Melanie Shaw types, and no disrespect to them because they're warriors.
Yeah.
But that Rosalinda.
Yeah, but face.
Yes.
Let's go back to what I keep saying. We have to develop more talent. We have to put together more talent. That's why I really want to push the all-female cards. That's why I want to really push the all-female tryouts. You know what I mean? Like there's a bunch of 115-pound women out there.
There's a lot, right?
It's just that we haven't reached them. We haven't sold them. We haven't pitched to them that these fights are available for you, and people get so caught up in the logistics and getting the fight done and getting this done and getting that done that you forget the whole recruiting part of it. You know what I mean? Because you're so busy.
When you're always picking the flowers, you never plant the seeds. You can't just always pick the flowers. You got to plant the seeds.
Absolutely.
And speaking on that, you're right. And you hear the top women in the sports, like the Christine Misfit Ferreras, like the Jamie Red Queen drivers, complaining, we don't have opponents. We don't have anyone wants to fight me. I don't. Right. But and I'm from speaking to you, so many great female fighters.
When did Jamie Driver fight?
The last time she fought was.
When is she fighting again? Do you know?
I don't think she's scheduled to fight yet again.
I got her somebody. Ain't she 145?
Yes, the champ, the welterweight. I think it's 147 there.
Let's go.
I think it's 147. She is a beast, and you need to definitely. That's a great fight because she's hot right now too. She's super hot right now too.
That's awesome. Yeah, like go ahead.
No.
Go I mean, listen, we gotta keep growing. Like, Dirty Boxing is starting an amateur program.
Yes, and amateur programs are where it's the rage.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're starting a new sport, you can't just go snatch UFC guys.
You need a feeder.
In the boxing Olympic world and pick up Olympic guys. You can't just go to,
And it's not just about getting them fights. It's about molding them into professionals, giving them a professional atmosphere, getting them professional media, professional photo shoots, professional how to handle it, how to travel, how things are handled. So they come somewhere and everything's ran the right way. Kind of like how
Right.
Prospect Amateurs was ran, very, very tightly ran, like a
Mm-hmm.
pro show. And there was
Yeah.
no difference than a pro show, pro television production, boom cameras, everything. So
Yeah.
that's part of it. And then you're building stars from
Yes.
the ground up. And that's what people want to
Yeah.
see. And you know that, boss. You got
Yeah.
that down pat.
Yeah. We listen. We build stars. You know, look
Yes.
what's going on the 27th.
Yes.
Ryan Arancibia. You know what I mean? Like Ryan Arancibia was an amateur boxer, won Sugarbird, great accolades in the amateur program, did 4 or 5 prospect amateurs, and now he's fighting on the card, and he's fighting another kid that went through the process as well. And you got John Carlos Rivera,
Yes.
right? Like stepping up to fight
Baby
Albert
Hulk.
Incline. Like Baby Hulk is saying, "I'll fight Albert Incline. Let's get it." And Baby Hulk is 115 pounds. He walk around 125. But hey, listen, some people say,
Well, not just that. You said Perdomo. Perdomo's on the card, and that's another homegrown star from nowhere.
Perdomo and Justin Sanchez tried out together. Who else tried out that day?
Man, wow.
And Perdomo walked in church clothes. And I was like, "Hey, what you doing?" He's like, he goes, "I don't speak English." I'm like, "What you want to do?"
I come you home. That's what he said.
I boxing. I go, "No, this is not boxing. This is bare knuckles." Oh, no. Bro, and I wish I have the footage. I'm going to look for this footage. After Perdomo's in there, I said, "Look, I got shorts, pants, everything. I got shoes, everything. Go change here." I gave him, he went and changed. He came in all shy, blah, blah, blah. This 6'4" guy walks into the gym. I don't know who he is. Came in with a team. Brand new, very highlighted Nike shoes, the socks, like in there jabbing, looking pretty. He was the only heavyweight there. Perdomo was about 200 pounds. He's a real heavyweight now, but when he first came, he was around 205. And I said, "Hey, you spar with that guy?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know. It's kind of big." Perdomo got there and threw that overhand right and knocked that big boy through the ropes. And I was like, "Oh," I called Feldman. I said, "Listen, we got a winner right here, bro.
I got the Cuban Mike Tyson.
I got the Cuban Mike Tyson, baby. Let's go." And that's it. It was over. It's a wrap. And little by little, it took a minute. It took a minute because he was like, kind of like, "Oh no, he don't sell tickets. He don't work. He don't talk English. He's not really doing his thing. Oh, we need to get more on social media." I said, "Put him in the fight. After he knocks 2 or 3 people out, you'll see. You'll see." And that's what happened.
He's been extremely active this last year. How many times did he fight this last year? How many times did he fight? Like 5 times, 4 times. And he said he wanted to fight every month. And at one point in a news conference after the show, scared the hell out of me. I was questioning him. He said, "I want come you home."
You home.
Yo, I mean, come on. He said, "Tired of fighting Miami. I come you home, where you live, where you fight, in your kitchen." But once again, just the Miami card, they're going to sell it out in there. They set records every time at the Hard Rock. They love them down there.
Yep.
Speaking of superstars in the bare knuckle world and the BKFC, there's a rumor that you say, I know you have some knowledge of, a good friend of the show, good friend of yours, mine, David, the Redneck Mundell, who recently in a spar, some video leaked on the internet. He was sparring with an unknown fighter. After the sparring's over, he drops his hands. He gets caught with something that probably should have never been caught with. And it appears to be knocked out in the video, appears to be. And maybe this is pulled him from the main event in Spain. What have you heard this or saw this?
Yeah, this happened. I mean, it happened immediately, actually. I mean, the fight was offered. And I think not a day later, that video rose up. Number one, I mean, look, people might not like what I'm about to say. But number one, if I have a world champion and he's sparring, number one, he's not sparring in a public area with everyone recording. And I'm going to know who I'm sparring. We're not playing. You know what I mean? You got to protect that. You got to protect your image. That right there, okay, it happens, but it doesn't have to be seen and publicized. And that guy that did it, he knows the etiquette of sparring. You know what I mean? I knock big face out in sparring. I'm not posting it. You knock me out. If you knock me out, I know you're gonna.
Right, we're practicing here. Right.
Yeah, there's a sense of respect and confidence, and that showed no class. Like what that guy did, and I think I know him. That showed no class for him to do that. There was no reason for that. And look what it did. It cost Mundell a great fight in Dubai to represent the U.S. And Mundell's one of the best technical bare knuckle fighters out there, and now he suffers like to not fight. And that's pretty sad. Like that's kind of hurtful for if it's hurtful for me, it's definitely hurtful for him.
Well, and shout out to Red Deck, man, one of the class guys in the sport, definitely one
Right.
of the superstars of the sport. And it
Right.
cost him some money. It cost him a probably pretty good payday, good travel day for him and his family out there to
Absolutely.
Spain. I'm sure he's unhappy. And man, I wouldn't want to be the dude. And you're right. I mean, I don't know the inside like you do, but was seeing what I saw the clip, and it looked pretty classless. One, the way it happened, and two, yes, you don't see that type of footage because all your greats that you love, your Floyds, everybody been knocked out in sparring, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's caught one in sparring, took a knee or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't do that. So from an organizational standpoint, you being an ex-high ranking official in one of these leagues, how do you handle when you hear that? You're like, oh, we gotta take him off. We gotta rebuild this.
The thing is that in medically, if he clearly was knocked out, if it shows that he clearly was disconnected from the world with that punch, when you're in a fight and you get knocked out, you get a 60 to 90-day suspension. So medically, he had to be removed because he's already suffered a concussion. So you're going to go into a fight in 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. Now, there's other times this has happened. You know when it happened that nobody knows? Anthony Joshua got knocked out when he fought Andy Ruiz. 2 weeks before he fought Andy Ruiz, he got knocked out in the sparring. But nobody knew, and it wasn't posted. But it did hurt him. It did hurt him because when Andy Ruiz touched him, it hurt him. So, especially if you're making weight. That's why this is sensitive. You have to really be careful who you spar. That's why when you hire sparring, you pay for it. You pay for the sparring, and this is what I keep saying, that
they work for you, correct?
They work for you, right? But again, here's the catch-22. I can't hire no sparring because I ain't making enough money, right?
True.
And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but to fix it, we just gotta figure out how to generate more for these fighters. And like a guy like Mundell, a young lady like Britain Hart, they might not be making the big purses, but they're on a great platform that can probably, you can gather great sponsorship. It just takes a team. It's hard for a fighter to do it when he's managing life, training, trying to rest, family, and also going out pitching sponsorship. They need that help. Those are the kind of things that you put together a team. A team like me and Josh.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. A team like right over there. We won't even release no names yet, but yes, a team that's in place. So let's talk about that a little bit. But you have the fighters like Britain Hart and shout out to Mike Vasquez, the BKB model, where I fight you often and I let you fight 3-4 times a year. But Dave Mundell is that unique situation where he really doesn't get that many fights because of the way he ends fights, maybe because of the way, big name fighters may not. Well, he had King Mo lined up, that fell through. I mean, he's had some fights fall through, right?
It goes back to the same thing. If when Mundell started this journey, if I was doing amateur fights, if I was sitting there creating the breeding ground of bare knuckle fighters, Mundell would have plenty of people to fight. Christine Ferreira would have plenty of people to fight. And that's just the bottom line. You King Mo, hey Mike Perry, come on. Hey, we need our own pool of fighters, man.
That is
true. Have to have your own pool of fighters where you can say, hey, boom, 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 let's go. You just can't pull them out of the air all of a sudden. Create it. That way it has meaning when you do fight.
Well, you see it has worked because there are several superstars, like you said, the Ryan Arancibias, the Changa Riveras. There are amateur fighters who are becoming famous
Yeah.
as powerful amateur fighters, and that's what you want, right? Then you want to see those fighters, and we're gonna, we're not talking about, I see the future where you're following these fighters, you're getting to know them, you're getting to know their family lives, where they came from. This is what you love about fights, right? That story, the story.
Sure.
Everyone loves a story. No one just wants to see a guy punch a guy out. They like Mike's story that he was an orphan from the Catskills, and Customato, raised him and turned him into this fighting machine. And that's the mystique of a fighter, right? And they all have a story.
They all have
right?
a story, 100%. They all have a story. That's why I was so passionate always about telling that story. Like I said, I was brought up on the B side, and all those B side fighters had stories. And I would just sit there and we would reminisce and say, remember, we went to Mexico and that guy was 25 pounds over. And then we said, we're not fighting. And they told us, if you don't fight, you're not leaving Mexico. like those kind of things that happen. And you're like, man.
Well, you have a fascinating story as well, though. And I mean, soon we'll have it'll come out. There's documentary being worked on, but you have an amazing story. And that's why you love it. That's why you love them stories, because you got one too.
Yeah, I mean, look, everyone has a story. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a journey they went to get to where they're at. And some people's like, oh, I had to do this, and I got young fighters all the time. Nelson, I got to do this and this and this. I'm like, we all got to do that, son. Like, we all got to go through that. Yeah, you're not the only one with problems, son. Everybody got problems.
So I think we're moments away from Chris Garcia, possibly. He is almost home. That was at 9 over. He's been, he's had a rough day, man. And to do all that they do, and then shout out to Chris Garcia, who's been booking it through South Florida. You know what I'm saying? And been hit me up every 15 minutes for 2 hours to make sure he definitely respects you, man, for the conversations I've had with him. I know you guys' relationship is really good, and like you spoke on him a little before, but this is an entire Miami card once again. And the Berlanga, we talked about Berlanga. We talked about the dirty boxing, which Platinum P, man. Mike Perry. What do you think about this? His own league, man. Fighters having, I love you, like you said, the more options, the better, right?
More options. Like, we need to get together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. There's no separation needs to be. Honestly, really, the bare knuckle fight. Look, BKB and BYB got together. They just formed a bigger alliance. Now we can go to the UK and fight BKB guys. That's great. That's what we should do. Dirty boxing. You want to partner up here and let's fight. Let me bring your guys to fight these. Let's do it. Let's do that. Let's get together. There's only a couple networks, but if we go to Fox together and we say, hey, listen, it's gonna be BKB versus this guy versus dirty boxing, and we're gonna all do this, and then. Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about. We got to all come together because it's too small.
It's inevitable almost. Don't you think so, boss? It's inevitable because that's what the fans are going to want. It's like an analogy I used earlier talking to someone was, if you like the WCW, you watch the WWF too, and you watch TNA and you watch the Ring of Honor, all those wrestlings you watch. You wanted to see Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan. Yeah. You wanted to see him cross over the same way I want to see one day Perdomo fight the BKB version. Just elude me now. Gonzalez, I'm sorry, the names elude me, but he's 7-0 with 7 first-round knockouts. Gustavo Trujillo. And I want to see Perdomo Trujillo. That would be just amazing.
It's gonna happen, and you know where it's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you in a couple of weeks where it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable for it to happen. I know that the Cubans say they don't fight each other. But when it comes to like who's the best, who's on top of the hill,
the heavyweights,
it's gonna happen. And everybody wants to see it. It might be just a Miami card, but I think
you'd have to find a new building. You'd have to find a new building.
Yes,
for Perdomo Trujillo, you have to find a new building, something big.
Yeah, and all those fights are coming. All those fights are gonna come. Yeah.
I'm efforting here for one more time, boss. I know you're busy, man. We try to keep you just now getting out the car, taking my kids. Okay, so Chris Garcia is just moments away, and we get a few minutes to talk to him. I'd love to you talk to him for a few moments. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about boxing. I love boxing and this heavyweight situation. So we were talking. I was talking with Austin Trout about the void, at the top of the heavyweight. Said it's always better when there's American heavyweight.
True.
A lot of rumors been in the news lately.
Yeah.
What do you think about Zhang losing, this unknown Russian winning the part of the title? Is Tyson Fury really done, or do you think he'll fight again?
I think that's all just it's a publicity stunt, man. How many fighters you see always retire, come back, retire, come back. Listen, once you get in there and you start getting fat, you don't have nothing to train for. You're like, man, I need to get in the gym and I need to punch somebody, and it's in you. It's in you, and that's kind of like the great thing and the downfall for all of us that fight. I hold myself back from getting in there sometimes. I want to get in there.
You look like you're in great shape. You're in great shape right now.
I mean, it looks like I'm in great shape when I answer that. After 2 minutes, it's different. That's why I'm worried about that 5-minute round. We do some dirty boxing. But for sure, like I don't think he's done. There's so many great fights for him. So
speaking of that, all those the Eastern European fighters, the Asian fighters, the of course UK fighters, I think even they would say it's better for them when there's a big American heavyweight. It just increases the, the
audience. Look at the audience that the United States has. The endorsements that come from there, the networks that come from there, the following of social media that come, like USA. That's where everybody's dream to go. Like that's how
nothing like a fight in Vegas.
Yeah, that's how I made my living. Like I went to Kazakhstan, and there was a guy there named Triple G, and he says, I got a contract with his signature on it when he first got done. It's like you're definitely coming to the United States. Let's go. And that's all over Africa, Dominican. They all want to fight here. This is where the money is. This is where the sponsors are. This is where the networks are. This is where everything is. And at the end of the day, an American heavyweight to represent the mecca of combat sports is what you need. You need that Deontay Wilder.
Yes,
coming out with that, with that bow and arrow right hand, coming around something.
Or you need the amateur pipeline. I know, and I know we don't get the best of the best in boxing like we used to because there's so many options for these athletes.
Right.
People say, what happened when we had Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston? Well, that was when, if you were poor, boxing was a sport for you because something you could do, didn't cost money. Most gyms let you box for free if you go sweep up or whatever.
Yeah.
But we couldn't play golf or tennis. We couldn't afford that. But now these guys are, LeBron James would have been a hell of a heavyweight champ of the world at 6'6", 270 pounds. How could you beat him if he'd have started boxing at 9? So
absolutely, and that's what happens in those European countries. That's what happened in South American countries. They're like they don't have the basketball organization.
That's correct.
They don't have that football.
15 sports. It's not just boxing, MMA, karate, combat. I mean, there's so many different things. Oh, there you go, boss. Chris Garcia. If you'd like to introduce to your fans.
Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the evening, coming to you live from Clewiston, Seatown, Florida, Muck City, the one, the only, Chris Dynamite Garcia.
Hey, my man,
thick boy.
What up, big man? Man, my bad, man. It's been one of them days.
I almost got you, bro. I'm almost there.
You catching up?
Chris got that magnificent, what we call the magnificent beard.
Yeah, I got this Asian beard. It's all straight.
Yeah.
What's up, bro? You had a great day, huh?
It was one of them days. One of them days, man.
Hey, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm good. Strong.
You got a little task on your hand there, son.
What does that mean?
You got a little assignment on you there. Little Robert Armas is not no walk in the park, cuz.
No, he's gonna bring it. I know he's gonna bring it, but I'm gonna bring it too.
What do you see where do you see what weaknesses in him?
Weakness, I just don't. I feel like, the pressure. He don't like pressure. I know that for a fact. So,
have you studied any tapes on him?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Um,
I've been
the
watching.
good thing about Robert Armas is that he's such a nice guy that after y'all finish fighting, you definitely are gonna go get something to eat, and y'all gonna be a lot closer,
Yeah.
a lot more. How crazy is it that both of you guys tried out at my gym in 2022?
Believe 22. Yeah, I would say 22. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I got
I
those
remember
pictures.
that.
And I wanted you to spar him, but I said, you know, let's not. That way, just in case this happens.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
And here we
you
are.
know.
Here we are. How's training going? How's your diet? You know, how's your weight? You look healthy. You look like you're killing yourself.
Nah, everything's going good. You know, is everything's working out the way it should. You know, weight is good. I feel strong. I'm happy. I'm ready to go. And that's it. There's really nothing to it now, but just stay ready. That's it.
Stay
Camp is
ready.
almost over.
Yeah.
So,
And how were your ticket sales? You know, I know that's a big thing
oh yeah,
for the
tickets. I'm
company.
sold out. Sold out. Sold out.
That's great, bro. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So they're happy. Everybody's happy. How is
Yeah.
it with All In Management? They're pretty good. They're pretty good guys. I know Vic, good dude, very hardworking, very dedicated to his fighters. I spent some time with him, you know, during the time there, and he was really committed to his fighters. So I was very nice. It was really nice to see you part of the team, and you know, they good support for you. So how do you feel working with them?
No, I feel good. I feel great. He's always there for me. That we're always working. They're always checking up on me, and they're always making sure I got everything I need. It's a
Yeah,
good team. I'm happy with them. Even besides fighting, they take care of me. Like, they invite me to these events, like, Rolling Loud, things like that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
treat
Yeah,
me
you,
like
you,
family.
gotta, you gotta spend some time, you know, outside of the fight world also to build rapport and fellowship and stuff like that. So that's cool. Um, you know, Chris, everybody knows you dynamite. You know, everybody knows you're a fighter. But give us a little bit about, you know, like where you come from. You know, we kind of grew up in a real countryside of Florida. You know,
Yeah.
you're you say Clewiston, but you're outside of Clewiston, and that's country. Like your phone barely works over there, and I grew up in a
Yeah,
small
yeah,
town
the
too.
signal's bad.
Yeah, the signal's bad, man. So like tell a little bit
Mhm.
about like you growing up in those parts, and like what led you into combat sports the way you did.
Well, man, growing up out here, yeah, it's like you said, country is very quiet. It's like we barely got parks out here, and that's crazy. It's just there's really nothing to do out here. But I believe one day I'll have the ability to change things, and that's my goal. To change things for the community. It's been tough. Like there was never nothing to do in my childhood, but I would watch fights on TV and all that, and I've always been a fan. And then I went to your gym weighing 180 pounds. When you said you want to fight, you got to make 125, 135. And I was like, looking at you like, I can't do that. But you said I
Yeah,
can, and I did, and that's where I'm at right now.
that's crazy, man. What a long journey, right? Did you ever
That was
imagine that you would be in this position? Like you're undefeated, bro, and you're on
yeah,
one of the biggest stages of combat sports, showcasing. And from a small
that's good.
town, you are bringing $20,000 worth of people to you. You know, like you're bringing 400 people to come watch you. You're a superstar. With you. Tell me, you got to be
That's
stopped
crazy.
at the Walmart all the time.
Yeah, always like even at McDonald's, there's some older folks, and it catches me by surprise. They're like dynamite. I'm like, that's crazy, man. And it's heart touching, because
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, man, people really do pay attention. Even some kids, like I be at the barbershop, like kids like 7 years old, 8 years old, they'll ask me for a picture and things like that. And then it gets me. I start thinking like, damn, I'm like a role model, so it makes me feel good. And yeah,
I
it's
mean,
all good. It's a blessing.
how you have a couple kids. You got about three, four, five,
Yeah,
six.
four. Not four. That's too much. That's too many. I got my phone.
How how do your I mean the oldest kind of understands. I know she understands, but like up to your youngest, like how do they know that what you're doing is dangerous? Like do they see you go in and are they worried for you or they just think it's a game? Like how do they feel?
Yeah, my oldest, she understands. She's 9 years old, about to be 10, so she knows. She's she likes it. She cheers for me. But when I get punched or something, she gets all in her feelings, and I don't like that. But this is what I do, and they're my why, so that's why I do it.
Yeah.
And my other ones, no, they don't. They think it's like a video game or something.
Yeah.
Mm,
For those of y'all that don't know, Chris got a beautiful family,
I
beautiful
think
wife, 4 kids. Like for real, a beautiful family. You're a lucky man. You're a
yeah,
lucky
yeah,
man,
man.
and you guys are super blessed, and you are a role model. Like I think that I know everyone chases that money. Everyone chases the
Yeah.
money, the belt, and their mind is like, oh, I get that belt, then I'm set free. I got the money. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to wait. I don't think you got to wait for the belt. I don't think you got to wait for the money. You're already a role model. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Put that into play. The
Mm-hmm.
kids already see you. Put it into play. Let people know you're a role model. Go to those schools. Talk to them. You can
Mm-hmm.
make a difference right now. You already did enough in this sport that puts you above the average combat sports guy. That puts you above like a lot of people around you, especially in the small town you're in. You are a role
Mm-hmm.
model. People are watching you. You can influence kids. You can influence adults. You can influence like you have the power now to open a gym. You have the power now to do motivational speaking. You have the power to get a product and get behind it and push it. Like that's amazing. That's amazing. Don't wait for that belt. The
Yep.
belt's coming. The money's coming, but you are already in the right path to becoming superstar status. You're already a role model. That's a beautiful thing. That's a big accomplishment. And shouts out to you. I'm super proud of you, and I'm super proud to be part of your growth for sure, for sure. So
For sure. And not many know, but I wouldn't even be in these shoes right now if it wasn't for you. So, I'm
no,
always
listen,
grateful and blessed for you.
I know people say that, but and maybe I put you in the right spot, or maybe I put you in a position where you could excel. But at the end of the
Yep.
day, Chris, bro, you're the one that had to get up and run. You're the one that had to make that weight. You're the one that
Yep.
had to get hit. You're the one that had to go and run every week, every month to get therapy on your knuckles. You're the one that like you put a lot of effort, I'm grateful for the credit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm grateful like Austin Trout and all these guys give me credit for putting you in a position, but a lot of people aren't going to take it as serious as you did.
Yep.
And I give you credit because I've put that position in a lot of people's hands and they've let it fall because they didn't believe in themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
credit goes to you. A lot of credit goes to you too. So I'm telling you, man, you're a role model, especially for your kids and where you're at. You gotta take that to the limits, bro. So don't let that slide.
Nah, never that. I appreciate that, Nelson.
Yeah. What what do you want to do, man? Like what do you see Chris Garcia Dynamite in 3 years? 2008, 28. Let's go. 3 years.
2028, where I see me, well, I see myself achieving the things I want to achieve, for my kids, for my supporters.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, is where God wants me to be as well. So
Yeah.
I'm always trusting Him. I'm trusting the process, and I'm just gonna keep working from now to there. I'm not gonna stop, and I'm gonna keep working on myself to become a better person, a better human being, a better athlete, and just a better person. That's it.
Um, I know you love boxing. Is there any chance that we'll see you in a boxing ring with some boxing gloves? I know that you really have a passion to build your boxing career, and you're young. You're not even in your 30s yet. You're a baby. So
Yeah.
like you have the opportunity with the experience, and I've seen you grow. I've seen you grow. Right now in the boxing world, you're at a great level of competition. Strong level. I mean, your division is strong, but
Mhm.
you're definitely able to build a career, build a 10-0, 12-0 record. Is that something that you kind of plan on doing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's my dream right there. I'm
Yeah.
trying to put them pillows on, so it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Hey, you never really wanted to do bare knuckle. I was telling
Mm.
Chad, I was telling Big Face, you're like, nah.
Yeah.
It's
When I first heard of it, I was like, nah, but let me do it, and then I'll put the pillows on. You know, it'll give me the platform to go to it. But
right.
then I ain't gonna lie. After the first bare knuckle fight, I'm like, damn, man, it wasn't that bad. I ain't had to worry about nobody hitting me from the back, or it was fun. So I like it. I love it. But boxing, that's always been since a kid. I would lock myself in my room. I would always buy Manny Pacquiao's fights with my parents because I was a kid. I'll lock my door and I'll be shadow boxing there, 7 years old, 8 years old, just dreaming and thinking about it.
And here you are now making it happen, bro. That's amazing.
Crazy. Yeah,
That's amazing.
God
That's
bless, man.
Absolutely.
Dynamite. I mean, look, you brought a couple guys to the table too, because I've done the amateurs, and I kind of like, we remember we kind of formed that Dynamite management, and you were kind of like bringing me guys. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah.
Chris brought me what's his name? Toro.
Giancarlo.
Mario Lopez.
John Carlos.
He brought John Carlos. He brought. You brought Laz. His brother. Have you seen his brother fight? Right, Face.
Yes.
Laz?
Yes.
No, listen. Laz is too. Laz's hands are fast.
Yeah, they got a whole squad. I interviewed Chris before. He had a whole squad down there, bare knuckle fighters.
We got Track. Bailey, Lewis.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah,
this man brought the whole you see the influence. You see what I'm saying? You see the role model.
Yeah, and I got more. I got plenty of more just waiting lined up. I'm just
Don't
waiting
even
for you.
Say it, because then I'm gonna have all the managers calling you. Listen, call Chris, man, that's my
And for someone you said earlier, first of all, a couple things stand out for your conversation. The dedication it took to cut from 180 to where he's fighting now, what, 125?
Ooh, I wish I had that picture, boy.
135. I got a few pictures, but hey, they're a little embarrassing to pull out. So
cutting several stone, as they say over in UK. Two, he is right. You do have that influence. And for someone who maybe, I don't know about bare knuckle, you are built for it. You're a superstar when you fight in there. You look natural and poised. And so I definitely can't wait to see you fight. And I believe in what Nelson believes, that you can be a star in both sports, and you can control your destiny, and you can definitely go to these middle schools and high schools and elementary schools because they want to see you there. And the administrators be more than happy to work with you and reach, because you're rare, and you know what I'm saying? You're a rare individual.
Especially his school, because I've seen videos of him fighting in his school, knocking people out. So
I got a few hidden. I got a few hidden files too.
They'll be like, you guys got to stop that fighting, man. You got to get into this if you want to be right. So
Dynamite.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Dynamite. Do you have any sponsors you'd like to shout out? Your gym, anybody that helps you along to make this all happen?
Yeah, shout out to Inkaholics Tattoos. Gabriel.
Gabe, what's up, Gabe?
They got the best tattoo work you could get. So most definitely, everybody got to go
Chris
there.
Chris did his whole back.
Yeah, my whole
and the
back.
tiger. What about the tiger? You got that tiger piece. That's crazy, man. That is awesome.
I don't even want to talk about that pain. That was serious. Shout out to Dynamic Wellness, Texas Wellness.
Yep.
Yeah, Lewis. Let me see. I'll be forgetting all of them. I'll be like, damn, it's so good.
Shouts out to All In.
All In Management. Wow. They're doing a great job in the sport.
Yeah. Samantha, Vic, all them cats, man.
First class, man. They got a great stable of fighters. Like all the really, really exciting young fighters seem to be signed to All In Management.
Yeah, they got a big squad. There's nothing but killers on there. So
they just signed Gogo
the youth movement. That's right. They got Gogo. They got Ryan Reber. They got yourself. They got HD David. It goes on and on. And the support. They got Brian El Gallo Duran. I mean, all the young superstars.
Juggernaut.
AJ. AJ the biggest.
AJ the biggest. Yeah, man.
That's my brother.
That's what's up. Amazing, man. Listen, Chris, shout out your social media, man. Let everybody know where to find you. Let them know if they want some tickets. Maybe you don't finish selling all your tickets. Maybe you got a code you want to put out there.
Yeah, I got a code.
But tell people to come to this fight, man, and shout out all your social media. Tell them to tune in, man. Let's see you fight. I want to see you knock somebody out. That's dope.
Yeah. So y'all can find me at _Team Garcia _ I'm sold out of tickets by hand, but you could put my promo code Garcia. You press unlock, promo code Garcia. And
that's on Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster.com.
Yeah,
Ticketmaster.com.
Go to unlock. Yeah. When you go to unlock, put Garcia, and he will get credit for that. Don't forget, do that. These guys are making a little percentage on their ticket sales. Go to the Ticketmaster.com, unlock, put Garcia, and get his man his credit for them tickets if you're going to come in. Even if you're just coming to, you just put Garcia, get a man his credit.
That's right. That's right.
That's much appreciated. And yeah, look, March 27th, I promise a show. I promise a war. I know he's going to bring it, but I'm going to bring it as well. So it's going to be a fight nobody wants to miss.
Listen, I do not want to miss it. One more thing before we go. Are you going to keep the uniform as a surprise? I mean, you've been hiding it. You usually kind of show me the, you know what I'm saying? You kind of post it. What are you doing?
It's a theme of myself. So
okay,
you got an idea.
I need something with swishy. I ain't seen it yet, so I need something
a little explosive. So
I like it. Chris, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of where you're going. You know, like I said, you're a role model. You're a superstar. Don't think nothing less, bro. Don't take nothing less from anybody else. And you know, good luck to you on the 27th. I'll be rooting for you. I love Roberto Armos, but your home team. So I'm with you. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Nelson. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Much love, and y'all take care. And big face.
Hey, man. Always love Chris, man. Good luck, brother.
Great kid, man.
And Armas, man, that's a tough fight. Armas is a good fighter. He's looking for a title shot too.
That fight was going to happen last time. And I don't know. It's like it was Armas. There was another kid. Oh, it was actually, I think it was going to be Abdel Vasquez. It's fighting.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We couldn't close it. And I was like, you know what, Chris? Just take this one off. We'll focus, you know, because he was dealing with a move. 4 kids, a wife, a dog, and moving. He just had to chill.
Well, I interviewed Armas at that Miami event, the last Miami event for BKFC, and he was there in his white fur coat, and he wasn't fighting anybody. He wanted to be fighting, and I understood that there was a fight possibly, and it didn't go through. Yeah. So that's what the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But I mean, listen, great fights. I'm excited about that. So everything's coming together, and I'm excited for all these fighters coming to, you know, putting their best foot forward and letting the fist fly, baby. So
well, and I love to see these kids become stars, and that's what you're starting to see. It's been around long enough now that bare knuckle fighters are becoming stars in their own. A shout out to Nada Miljancevic. She's been on the whole night, but she just had trouble with her MacBook. We'll have to reschedule her. You know, big fight for her with Nicole Schaefer.
Big fight for you, yeah. Naja, you know, I'm gonna look up a little bit more of your fights. I know you're a brawler. I know you're coming forward to fight. You know, Nicole is tough. She's a tough girl, a little bit smaller than you.
Skilled too.
And she has that peekaboo style, which is tricky because, you know, it's an aggressive counter punching, right? Like Mike Tyson, they say, oh, he was just a freight train. No, he was a counter puncher. He was an aggressive, forward moving counter puncher. And I mean, she's not Mike Tyson, but Nicole works that way. She waits for that punch to come by and she's letting something fly. You know, so it's gonna be a great fight. Italy's gonna be dope. You know, Austin Trout and Dubai gonna be dope. Hannah Rank is gonna be dope. Kai Stewart, all of it. Such great fights. You know,
and while we're speaking on bare knuckle, you got BKB 38 happening over there, and it was Wolverhamptonshire on the 22nd. It's coming up very shortly. You got Connolly, LT Smash Nelson. They finally having this rubber match. Lots of great fights. And
what a great fight.
But you said they matched their fight so tough. I looked at the whole card and everyone is like, man, there's no easy fights for anybody. They don't give any easy fights.
Yeah, man. Listen, I look at the card and I'm like, wow. Like, there is no B side.
No,
there is no A side.
They have no idea who's.
I love it. I mean, listen, the fans win either way. But man, like I guess what great matches over there in the UK with BKB, BYB. What a great matches over there. So I really never paid attention much about that organization much. I've taken into more into looking at it, researching the fighters. Very interesting. And I'm glad that I did. I'm I just learned a whole new group. That's kind of like I said, they're separate. Like they don't even look over here, they don't look over there. They just I'm this.
It's like loving rap and then listening all the time to West Coast and then finding Wu-Tang. You're like, oh wow, they dope too. You know what I mean? Right? Yeah. Right. And while I got you, and thank you so much for your time tonight, giving so much of your time to the show. Before we let you get on your final thought of the night, I mean, the future is so bright for combat sports, period, because there's so much on the horizon with more opportunities for fighters. Everyone's going to get more opportunities to see their favorite fighter fight, right? More avenues. And I'll let you go with your final thought, boss, but appreciate your time tonight. Fantastic insight as always, man. And
I'm going to say this. Sometimes when you get a new iPhone or a new electronic, it takes iPhone 10, 11, 12 to perfect it, right? And here we are. We're testing the iPhones. We're testing the technology of combat sports. Bare knuckle arise from somewhere and take over. Dirty boxing arises and take over. Influencer arises and take it over. And, I think that it's going to come down to where it is perfected. It is perfected where combat sports will be at its peak. They lost Showtime. Boxing lost Showtime. Boxing lost HBO. Boxing lost Spike TV. Top Rank is losing ESPN. We're in for a super reset button for combat sports. And we're here to live it. And we're here to be involved in it. And we're going to blow it up just like it started back in the day, the Muhammad Ali's and the Sonny Liston. We're going to hit the reset button and we are going to lift combat sports to the moon. And while we're doing that, we're going to keep our hands up and protect ourselves at all times. Let's go, baby.
Yo, shout out to my boy Nelson. Let's go. Turn it up. He's doing his thing.